At first, narcissists never think they'll regret losing you. They see strength as a threat, not a gift. They believe you'll come crawling back, begging for their attention. But when the strong ones walk away, silently, gracefully, and for good, something inside the narcissist begins to crumble. You see, narcissists mistake kindness for weakness. They think empathy means dependence. But strong people love deeply and walk away quietly. That quiet departure leaves a scar the narcissist doesn't talk about, because admitting regret would mean admitting failure. In the beginning, they feel relief. The strong one is gone. No more challenges, no more boundaries, no more truth-telling. They convince themselves they're free. But that freedom soon turns into emptiness. The silence they once demanded starts echoing louder than they expected. They try to fill that silence with noise, new people, distractions, validation. But no one matches the energy of the one who saw through them. The strong ones aren't replaceable because they gave something rare, genuine connection. And narcissists can't manufacture that once it's gone. The regret doesn't come all at once. It creeps in slowly. Maybe they see your face in a crowd, or hear your laughter in memory. They realize they lost someone who gave them more patience, love, and forgiveness than they ever deserved. And that's when the guilt starts whispering. Narcissists don't handle guilt like normal people. They turn it into anger, denial, or projection. They tell themselves you were too much or too emotional. But deep down, they know the truth. You were strong enough to leave, and they were too weak to stay. They replay arguments in their mind, but the version they remember always favors them. They twist the story to protect their pride, yet even their lies can't hide the emptiness that follows. Every ego-driven justification feels hollow when they realize you're truly gone. What they miss most isn't your body or attention, it's the energy you carried. You grounded them, balanced their chaos, gave their world meaning. Without you, they spiral. And though they'll never admit it, your presence was the only calm in their storm. At first they'll test you. A message, a memory, a subtle "I miss you." But it's not love, it's curiosity. They want to see if the door is still open. When you don't answer, that silence becomes the mirror of their failure. It's the one reflection they can't manipulate. Their ego screams, they'll come back, but time proves otherwise. You rebuild your life, rediscover yourself, and smile again. That smile, the one they thought they destroyed, becomes their worst nightmare, because it means they never truly had power over you. Narcissists regret losing the strong ones, because strength is rare. Most people bend under their pressure, but not you. You stood firm, saw through their games, and walked away. That memory haunts them because it challenges their belief that they're unbeatable. They'll tell others they're over it, but their actions say otherwise. They check your social media, ask about you indirectly, or try to copy your energy through someone new. They're searching for the strength they lost, not realizing it was never theirs to begin with. The strong ones leave differently. They don't slam doors, they close them quietly. That calm exit is what drives narcissists mad. There's no fight to win, no drama to feed on, just silence. And silence is the one thing they can't control. Regret for them is disguised as curiosity. They wonder if you still think of them, but it's not love, it's ego. They don't want you back for who you are. They want you back for what you represent. Validation, admiration, attention. The loss of that supply hurts more than heartbreak. When they see you thriving without them, it feels like betrayal. They expected your world to collapse, not bloom. Your glow is a silent confession of their failure. It proves you were never dependent. They were, and that truth eats at their pride. They start comparing everyone new to you. No one measures up. no one challenges them the way you did, or inspires the same mix of fear and fascination. They realize too late that your strength wasn't control, it was authenticity. And authenticity terrifies them. The narcissist's new relationships lack depth. They might seem happy, but it's all performance, without the emotional grounding of someone strong. Every connection feels empty. You were their balance, and without balance, even their ego feels unstable. In moments of quiet, they remember your calm voice, your patience, the way you saw through their lies without screaming. They miss it, even if they won't admit it, because deep down, they know that kind of emotional stability doesn't come twice in a lifetime. They'll say you changed, but the truth is, you grew. You stopped feeding their ego and started feeding your soul, your silence, your peace, your confidence. It's all evidence that you found strength within, and that's something they can't destroy or replace. Their regret deepens when they realize they lost access. They can't reach you emotionally anymore. No matter what they say or do, you no longer respond the way you used to. The game ended, and for the first time, they're the one left powerless. They hate how unaffected you seem. To them, indifference is worse than anger. Anger means you still care. Indifference means you've healed. That's why your silence drives them insane. It shows you've mastered the one skill they never will: letting go. Narcissists often convince themselves that the strong ones will regret leaving. But months pass, then years, and you never look back. You stop explaining, stop justifying, stop bleeding for people who feed on pain. That's when their regret transforms into quiet obsession. They'll search for you in others, hoping to recreate the same dynamic. But imitation never feels the same. Every new person reminds them of what they lost. Someone who saw through their chaos and still offered compassion until it became impossible. They might reach out again, disguised as changed. They'll say, "I've been thinking," or "I finally understand." But it's not self-awareness, it's strategy. They want to test if the strong one still has empathy left to give. But this time, your heart is guarded. Their biggest mistake was confusing your love for weakness. Now they understand that love with boundaries is strength. You were strong enough to stay compassionate, yet brave enough to walk away. That duality haunts them more than your absence ever could. They regret losing the person who believed in them. You saw potential where others saw manipulation. You gave them chances, understanding, and time. But they used it as fuel for control. When you withdrew that energy, they lost their emotional anchor. In their loneliness, they start idealizing the past. They forget their cruelty, remember your kindness, and rewrite the story as if they were the victim. But even in their delusion, they feel it, that ache that comes from realizing they destroyed something real. You became the one that got away, not because of mystery, but because of maturity. You evolved into someone who no longer fits their world of control and illusion. That evolution turns into their deepest wound. They taught you pain, but you turned it into power. They'll often claim, "I don't care," but their actions betray them. They watch your growth, your calm, your new glow. It's not curiosity, it's mourning. They're mourning the control they'll never regain, the admiration they'll never feel again from someone strong. The strong ones become unforgettable because they were real. They gave depth, meaning, and empathy to someone who lives on surface-level validation. Once you've experienced genuine love, fake attention feels like starvation. And that's the narcissist's new reality. They'll chase temporary highs, new relationships, social validation, flattery, but none of it lasts. The thrill fades, and the emptiness returns, because no one can replace the strength of someone who loved them, and saw their darkness at the same time. Their biggest regret isn't losing you, It's realizing they never appreciated you. They treated your strength as defiance instead of devotion. And by the time they understand, it's too late. You've already found peace in places they can't reach. They envy your healing. You carry your pain gracefully, while they drown in theirs. You turned suffering into wisdom. They turned it into bitterness. That difference defines your freedom and their regret. You no longer crave their apology. You've learned that closure doesn't come from their words. It comes from your growth. That realization frees you, but chains them to guilt they can't process, because closure requires honesty, and narcissists can't face truth. Your existence becomes their reminder. Every smile, every success, every peaceful moment whispers the same truth. They lost the best version of love they'll ever know, and they lost it by choice. Over time, their regret hardens into resentment. They'll criticize you to others. They think they're too good now. But even in their mockery, there's jealousy. Because every insult hides admiration they can't express without feeling small. They start realizing that no one truly loves them. Every connection feels transactional. Every smile, conditional. You were the exception, and they destroyed it. That truth keeps them awake at night, even if they pretend to sleep soundly. Your transformation breaks their illusion of control. They used to believe they were irreplaceable, but your peace says otherwise. You didn't just survive them, you became stronger because of them. And that realization burns like karma. They hate the strength they once mocked. They remember the moments you stood up for yourself, the times you refused to beg. Now they see that as courage, the same courage they wish they had. And that envy becomes quiet torment. The narcissist's regret is silent, but heavy. They'll never say, "I was wrong," but they'll feel it in every failed connection, every restless night, every echo of your name in their mind. You became the mirror of everything they couldn't become. They still talk about you, not with love, but with obsession. They mention you in fragments, testing if others still remember. But your name doesn't sting anymore. You've turned it into peace, while theirs remains tied to drama. They may look confident on the outside, but internally, they're haunted by what they lost. You weren't just another chapter. You were the turning point they never recovered from. Every fake smile hides the ghost of the strong one they underestimated. The irony is, they didn't lose you the day you left. They lost you the day they chose ego over empathy. Everything after that was just delay. By the time they realized what you were worth, you'd already realized what you deserved. They regret underestimating your silence. You didn't leave to hurt them, you left to heal. That kind of strength confuses them. Because in their world, love means control. But you loved enough to let go, and that's power they'll never understand. Now, every strong person they meet reminds them of you. They crave that energy but fear it too, because it exposes their weakness. You became their lesson, their karma, and their greatest regret, all at once. You've become proof that leaving doesn't mean losing. You reclaimed your energy, rebuilt your peace, and rewrote the story they tried to control. And that transformation, that freedom, is their lifelong punishment. They might forget many people, but not you. You were the one who challenged their lies, stood up to their manipulation, and walked away with dignity. They'll remember that strength forever, even if they pretend not to. Their regret never turns into apology, because that would require humility. Instead, it turns into longing. The silent, restless kind that follows them wherever they go. You became the standard they can't meet, even in their own reflection. The strong ones don't seek revenge. They let karma do the talking. And karma often arrives as a mirror, showing the narcissist the emptiness they once projected. Their greatest punishment is seeing you live a life they tried to steal from you. So when the narcissist regrets losing you, don't mistake it for love. It's not love, it's loss of power. You were never their possession, you were their lesson. And your strength, calm, quiet, and radiant, is the proof that you won without ever having to fight.